I am Jake.
And I'm Marlin.
AKA Gee. And today we're going to be reacting to the 2017 honest trailer for John Wick, with the new John Wick film, Chapter 4, coming out soon. And before we start, are you a fan of the John Wick movies?
Oh yeah, when they first were announced, I thought, well, what can Keanu Reeves do to, and he did very well with this franchise, and there was a whole new style of combat that I think the person who choreographed those scenes put into play here, which was very interesting.
I enjoyed the first film. It was really good, and the sequels, while not on the same level, are still a pretty kick-ass franchise. Keanu Reeves really came back as an action star, and yeah, I enjoyed them a lot. And as we all know, we are big fans of the honest trailers, so let's see, because I've seen this but you haven't, so let's see how you feel about how they deconstructed John Wick.
All right.
They stole his car. They killed his dog. Now he's gonna kill 76 people who worked for the dad of the kid who did it. John Wick. Strap in for the sleeper hit of 2014 that your friends would not shut up about, combining the no-nonsense revenge movies of the past with the slick production techniques of today. In an action flick that doesn't rely on quick cuts or shaky cam? I didn't even know you were allowed to do that. How's Liam Neeson gonna hop a fence in the next Taken?
Yeah, this gets a lot of shit.
Man, that must have taken them a while. I mean, seriously, that was like 14 different camera angles.
Accommodate his age.
The man whose mere name makes criminals reconsider their life choices.
He stole John Wick's car.
Oh, John Wick. Oh.
Game winners, baby.
Eighth and arguably best character, named John. He's a retired hitman, tragically in love with a video clip. But after the world's most depressing crime,
days after his wife died, you steal his car and kill his dog.
He'll turn the entire world into a game of Call of Duty on the easiest difficulty. To quote the man himself, enter a mysterious shadow society of assassins, where everyone is way too casual about dead bodies.
Hey, John.
Well, they're assassins.
Working again?
Complete with its own mysterious currency, cleanup crew, hotel, bar, healthcare, car service, and assassin jazz band, I guess?
We need our fucking music.
So, is there like an assassin Yelp, assassin daycare, assassin deli? I really hope they put all that up in John Wick 2. Watch as John hunts down Theon Greyjoy, who's gone from literally dickless to metaphorically
castrated on Game of Thrones.
Go get me a bottle! In breathtaking action sequences, where John kills countless actual red shirts, culminating in a finale where he casually shoots the person he's been hunting, then wrestles an old and out-of-shape Russian dad in the rain. Huh. Kinda feels like they blew their budget in that nightclub scene. So pull up a front row seat to the Keanu-sans, as this immortal 50-year-old still kicks just as much ass as he did in his 20s, and finally loses the trademark chill he's been building up since Bill and Ted.
Or you can die screaming alongside him!
As we pray that Keanu pulls off what he's never done before. Follow up a great action movie with a sequel that doesn't suck.
You have many questions.
It was good.
The process has altered your consciousness. You remain irrevocably human.
This guy.
Concordantly, while your first question may be the most pertinent, you may or may not realize it is also the most irrelevant. Your life is the sum of a remainder of an unbalanced equation inherent to the programming of the mind.
Starring I Know Gun Fu, to friend or to foe, headshots.
Lots.
Russian Reek, Friday Night Lights Out, more headshots. Winston Churchill, Super Shredder in Ninja Turtles 2.
Kevin Nash.
Wow, this movie is like 80% headshots. A Dog's Purpose. Man, John's so good at shooting, he doesn't even shoot vertical video. Hey, Screen Junkies, want to hear how Keanu Reeves really feels about John Wick?
I just want to kill this one kid.
Yeah.
Not crazy.
Then check out our second edition of Honest Interviews, where we ask Keanu and the people behind John Wick 2 to answer our dumb questions. Click the box on the left to watch our interview, or click the box on the right to check out our Screen Junkies roast of Batman. Whoa. Always bet on black. He said, welcome to the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy, only he didn't say freaking. Brother, I require your oaths. All hail Princess Trunks.
I wonder who makes the selection on the YouTube comments for him to read at the end.
I suppose that's an art all in itself.
Sometimes they're real funny, sometimes they're as random as you could fucking get. But, yeah, this was one of their more popular honest trailers, and as I mentioned to you before we started filming, the directors, Chad Stahelski and David Leitch, sat down and watched and gave their feedback to the honest trailer, and I think they enjoyed it.
They seem to have just those quick little things, but the first thing they had Keanu Reeves say was this thing that was in my head when they said, and he killed 76 people. He didn't set out to do that. That was the army that they threw at him. So.
Yeah, and there's been some jokes, I think, about how do you know they were all deserving of death?
Because they came after him.
And the only member of the group that he doesn't kill, that he kind of, if I remember right, that he kind of gives a pass, is that guy standing at the door. He's like,
oh, yeah.
You can go.
Yeah,
Because,
you're excused.
Yeah, he gave Kevin Nash a pass. And the best part of the honest trailers are always the funny names.
Oh, yeah. And I couldn't repeat them to you now, but they're just so.
The ones that stuck out were DeFriend or Defoe. It's crazy to remember that William Defoe was in this. And Winston Churchill.
Very good, yes. Yes. That was...
Ian McShane's always a good, old badass presence to have in your movie. And, yeah, Kevin Nash, they called him the Super Shredder. He played, like in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. The Shredder takes some formula that makes him really fucking huge. They call him the Super Shredder, and I believe Kevin Nash played him.
I'll take your word for it.
Interesting thing, Chad Stahelski was Keanu Reeves' stunt double on The Matrix.
Oh, okay.
And David Leitch, he's also a stunt man. So yeah, they really know their stuff, and you talk about the choreography of the stunts.
Yeah.
I think it's clear they had experience and they knew just what to do. I can't remember exactly, but Keanu Reeves, after the Matrix movies, the original trilogy, he kind of, like, he was there, but he wasn't as huge as he was.
Yeah.
And he just came back like that. And as I said, he was 50 when this came out.
Young man.
And I find it just so fucking wild that John Wick, it is 9 years old this year.
Yes, it seemed like a short time ago, but we had 3 episodes since, so.
Well, the third...
Counting 4.
Yeah, and the part where they talked about how there's so many long shots as opposed to all that jump cutting and taken. And... yeah.
Well, you know, what are you going to do? I mean...
Liam Neeson's, at the time, was like in his mid-60s.
Yeah.
If he tried doing that in one continuous shot, he'd probably bust a hip.
Something, yeah. He's an actor. He's not necessarily an athlete at this point.
And another thing I love about the first John Wick is it wasn't just Keanu Reeves. They brought so many action and B-movie royalty members into it. Willem Dafoe, John Leguizamo, Dean Winters. It was fun to see. He's the main Russian guy's right-hand man.
Yep.
And, of course, the cleanup guy who just comes in to move the body.
Oh, yeah, the cleanup stuff was wonderful.
And that's...
Every movie had a cleanup crew.
Yeah, and the guy in charge of the cleanup crew is David Patrick Kelly, who you might remember him from Commando. He's the short, nasally voice guy. He's been in a whole bunch of 80s classics.
Yeah,
Well,
but the cleanup, they just come in and everything is clean. Nothing is missed.
yeah. They're just like, okay, we got this. Okay, we're gone.
See you later, John.
And good luck with what you're doing. Fun film. People say he's doing all this over a fucking dog, but
No, he's not.
if you owned a pet and you've lost a loved one, it's pretty easy for some people to kind of get into it, as they say.
He lost a loved one, and that was the thing that reminded him of her. And I didn't mind at all when that Russian kid got killed. That was just swell. Almost too bad his dad died, because he just tried to keep the jerk alive, but too bad.
Yeah, and sadly, that actor, Michael Sintros, I can't pronounce his name, I'll put down here. He died, I believe, about 2 or 3 years after this movie. But he was good. A lot of people know him for the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movies. And last thing I'll say about the Honest trailer that really stuck out to me was the part where they talk about how he's such a good shot, he knows to hold the camera sideways when filming. Because I'm like, yeah, how many people have just filmed like this and it looks awkward?
Yeah, it looks awkward. And
And-
again, it gives you a tick-tock picture whether you want it or not.
So, last thing I'll say before we wrap this up. Well, first, do you have any final thoughts about the Honest trailer?
I think those guys, just in general, they are so creative and so much fun. Whoever writes their stuff, but their delivery is smack, smack, smack. It just keeps rolling, and they do a good job.
Last thing I'll say, because I've said all I had to say about the Honest trailer. Chad Stahelski, he's still directing each John Wick film. Like, these are kind of his babies. But he's done a few others, but these are his movies. And David Leitch, even though he's the co-director, for some reason he was uncredited when directing this movie. But he's kind of gone on to other stuff, but he's had a reasonable amount of success. Other movies he's directed include Atomic Blonde, with Charlize Theron, Hobbs and Shaw, the Dwayne Johnson, Jason Statham Fast and Furious spin-off. Last year he did Bullet Train with Brad Pitt, and his first big film after John Wick was Deadpool 2, where in the opening credits, they kind of parody Honest trailers with the funny names. They say, directed by one of the two guys who killed the dog in John Wick. Yeah, it's a little like, you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon.
Soon.